Listen for Gilbert for the jumper. Good, and he got it. It happens every night, and it's become commonplace.
Strongly opinionated. Gilbert Arenas, aka Agent Zero, aka Hibachi, aka Gil, might have one of the best sports podcasts out right now. He has been doing media for a little while now, but right now he is on fire when it comes to content. His podcast, Gil's Arena, is growing and gaining more traction every single day. It feels more like a show on a sports network versus a podcast, though. People tune in to be entertained and get to cast honest opinion on what's going on in the sports world, specifically Gilbert's. And controversial or not, he delivers every time. And he doesn't only do it on his own platform, but he does it on every platform he's featured on, like Vlad TV, for instance. His Vlad TV interviews have gone viral on multiple occasions, oftentimes for Gilbert's opinion on whatever the subject is. His opinions are often, not always, but often opposite of the general public's, when the general public is trying to be politically correct. So when he says something that goes against what they publicly think that is acceptable to say, it shocks them. But not only because it isn't what they expected to hear, but also because they might agree with his opinion sometimes, but would never say it if they had a platform like that to say it on themselves. Gil has offended many people, and when you hear that about someone without context, then you may think that they are a horrible person, or that anyone who agrees with them might have to be a horrible person too. Kind of like the people that are for or against the late Kevin Samuels or Candace Owens. If you just look at the headlines or social media posts and form a complete opinion for or against something, then oftentimes you will be wrong. Either way, you don't have the full story. And if you actually go to the original source to get the full info, then you may see that you agree with certain points while also disagreeing with other points. And that it isn't just a black and white situation. If you bring up Gilbert Arenas, you may have someone instantly judge you for even listening to his content. But like I said before, go to the source before forming a complete opinion. If you do that, you'll see that he never intends to offend anyone. Actually, more times than not, they are jokes with some truth sprinkled in it. I'll admit that I don't always agree with all his opinions, but me agreeing or disagreeing with him isn't what makes me want to watch his content. It's the fact that I know I'll get an honest opinion, not some politically correct opinion. This is what I think brings people to Gil's Arena. See what I did there? Never mind, sorry.
Move this man!
I also think that this is what keeps him there. We see people gain success due to people believing in them and their personality, only for them to start to try to protect corporate relationships, and that's when people begin to leave or stop supporting them in the same way. People who are opinionated aren't always viewed in the best light, but they are always respected because you know what you will get when you run into them. Don't be afraid to speak your truth. And when you do stand on it like Gil does, as long as your delivery is digestible, you're most likely going to win in the end. True leader. Gil is a point guard who was also a franchise player, so he's used to being the leader of teams. Not only does he handle the responsibility of leading and having the winning or losing fall on his shoulders, but he loves it and he craves it. This doesn't only apply to the basketball court either. This is his mentality when it comes to leading the show. This is his mentality when it comes to training and coaching young basketball players or even current NBA players. This is also his mentality when running companies. Gil would prefer to lead and lose than to ride the coattails of someone else and win. In this very present day, we are watching him build a media empire from showcasing his leadership skills and using the star power that he already built during his playing days. He has a deal with Fubo Sports to host a show called No Chill with Gilbert Arenas. He has a fast-growing podcast called Gil's Arena, like I mentioned earlier. He also has a personal YouTube channel that he tells more personal NBA stories that are even more unfiltered called No Chill Gil. Make sure I go sub up to that. All of them are doing well and they are all tied to him by namesake. So anytime they grow, so does he, and so does his negotiation leverage. But Gilbert doesn't get to where Gilbert is alone. He has a team around him like he did when he was playing basketball. And his team has to be great in order to reach greatness. And to get your team to reach that greatness, they need to have a leader. And you have to be that leader. You won't always make the smart play, but that's to be expected. You won't always be at your best, that's also to be expected. But you will always be expected to be that leader. Gil has made some mistakes while being a leader, and he has admitted to such. Especially when he was a franchise player for the Washington Wizards. He copped to being a terrible vet to the young players, specifically to Nick Young. But like I said, you won't always make the smart player or be at your best as a leader, but that doesn't change the fact that you are the leader and that it falls on you. A true leader accepts all of this. And as I mentioned before, Gil craves it. But unlike in the NBA, there isn't just one final winner in the arenas Gil is playing in now. And right now, Gil is in the midst of his championship run, and he looks like he hasn't even hit his prime yet. Armed with his unfiltered opinions and his leadership skills, He is making a move to build and leave behind a Hall of Fame worthy legacy. If you plan on doing the same, you should take notes from Gilbert Arenas and how he moves, because it is already heading in the direction you plan on going. Success, greatness. He has other traits that help him get to where he is now, and those same traits are going to take him further, like how he engages in mental warfare while most people are surface level when trying to negotiate, and many more, but we'll save the rest of those for a later date. For now, these are 2 reasons that Agent Zero has reached greatness. Y'all be great. I'm out.